Okay, so now, when we talk about revenue, the point number one is it creates a big revenue stream. It's very profitable. Well, I'm just going to kind of give you an idea about that. If you look at like a free seminar with 100 people, I'm going to try to use this pen right here. You know, a free seminar with 100 people, you can bring in probably around an average of 50K, okay? We'll see how well I do with this pen. Okay, 50K. Now, you could make less, you could make more. I know people that make 200 grand in a 100-person seminar. I know people that make a lot less than that, but 50K is a pretty strong number. You can obviously make 100K, but say you make 50K in a paid seminar for 100 people. I mean, you can often make $3,000 to $5,000 a person in that seminar. So 3,000 times 100 people is 300,000, right? Okay, so in a paid seminar, you can often make bigger money. Writing with a pen's a little challenging, but you get the point. Okay, so you've got free seminars, you've got paid seminars. What I'm trying to tell you here, to make a long story short, this is big money. This is not small money. This is big money if done correctly. Okay, and the great thing about that too is when you've made that kind of money, you can take that money home, you can use it, you can reinvest it in your business, but you don't have a lot of follow-on, obligations, so to speak, after the event. Okay, so second one we're going to talk about here is how the money works, right? Oh, yeah, small amount of capital and risk. So if you look at this right here, a 2-day free event, I just kind of broke out the cost for you so you can see this a little bit more. But if you add this thing all up right here, you're talking about around, for a free event, around 20K, okay? That's what it takes cost-wise. Now, that's given all my connections and kind of all the things I know how to do. Now, obviously, for you guys, if you were just doing this cold by yourself, I mean, I have no idea what the cost would be for you. It could be 50K for you. But in terms of with my assistance and my team and my resources and my knowledge and my database, and I'll explain that, this is what it costs. Now, the paid event's going to be a little less. Right here I have it about 15K. That's probably pretty normal, or not pretty normal, but pretty accurate. It costs a little bit less to do the 3-day event, and the reason why is because the leads are not going to be coming from a cold source. In the 2-day free event, we're getting the leads from a cold source, meaning we're paying for them. We're paying for the leads. In the 3-day event, the leads are coming from the databases that you already have. They're coming from other traffic you already received, okay? So long story short is you're going to pay for leads to get them in a free event. You're going to invite the people in the free event to go to your 3-day paid event. Does that sound a little familiar for people? Have you seen something like that before? You went into a free event, and then you were invited to go into a mentoring program, a mastermind, another event or whatever. That's a common model, okay? If people are interested in certain things, it's understandable that they can be exposed to new ideas and they can continue their education, okay? That's all that is they're continuing their education. And what's exciting about this is it leads to a big back end. So I want to just talk to you a little bit about front end versus back end. Front end is where the money starts to be generated, but the money is not made in the front end. There's very few companies that are making millions of dollars on the front end. I'm not saying there's none, because there are some, and there's some that do it very well, actually. But the bigger money is on the back end. So the front end are CDs, software, anything that's free, webinars, consumer products. I mean, it could be a blender. It could be, even the infomercials you see out there, consumer products. You could bet that they're selling something to you on the front end, but you can bet $1 million they have other ways on the back end for monetizing their leads. Okay, when they get someone to buy, you can bet they have other infomercial offers. They have other companies that are buying the leads. They have other products of themselves they're selling. They have other companies that they're selling their mailing list to, and they're mailing to you. So they have ways of monetizing their leads. And so sometimes when you see something on the TV for really cheap, and you're wondering, man, how are they making money? Well, the reason why is they're not making money on that first product, but they have other ways to make money on the back end: seminars, insurance, consulting, mortgages, real estate, coaching, masterminds, done-for-you programs, educational programs, other products, consumer products. One consumer product can lead to another consumer product. Okay, long story short is, like, for example, if you buy a car, it's reasonable to think that you might want, replacement parts for that car. It's reasonable to think that you might want certain car protection types of products to protect and clean and wax and and keep the car in tip-top shape. Okay, long story short is every front end has a back end. Every back end has a back end. There's always another product or service, another thing that can be sold after something else is sold. And that's the secret of making big money in seminars, okay? Now, the other thing I love about this business is you get to work with really cool people. One of the things I've loved about this business is I have a lot of really good friends. They're in my cell phone. I get to talk to them. I text them. We hang out at events. I'm in this inner circle of people that are very influential. Some people are more influential than others, but that's not the point. The point is you develop great friendships amongst the people that are out there that are in this business. Okay, you might know some of the pictures on this page. Obviously, many of the people on this page, some of you won't know, some of you will know. You know, Stephen Pierce, Make Money on the Internet. Let's see here. Simon Young is a really great marketer, and he's really popular online. He has massive amount of following online. He's the guy on the left at the top. Roger Salaam, he's the founder of the Winner's Circle, which is one of the biggest country clubs for real estate and internet and other kind of micro celebrities out there. And anyway, long story short is you're going to hang around these kind of people. And here's what happens when you're hanging around these kind of people. Ideas come up. And it might not even be an idea you were even thinking about, but when you're talking to these people, all of a sudden they say wild things like, I've got 40,000 names of these people, and they're interested in this thing, and what can we do with that? Or I've got a product sitting on the shelf, or I've got money. I've got 100,000 private investors, all verified with money and have recently done deals, and I don't know what to do with these people. And can we go on a joint venture, do something together? I mean, you get all kinds of wild and crazy and amazing. I just recently talked to a guy who has 2 million records of people who have attended seminars, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that later here. And he said we could market to these people. That's one of the reasons why I got you guys on the line here tonight. So I want to tell you some of the most amazing opportunities that I have at my fingertips, and I'm going to be willing to spread the wealth around. I am definitely not a guy that sits back here and just tries to run this ship like the Wizard of Oz, you know, keep up the curtain and try to be a one-man show and try to just, you know, make as much money I can for myself while draining everyone else's bank account. I couldn't be further from what I believe. I believe in sharing the wealth. I believe in synergy. I believe in helping people. I believe in getting, if I could find a way to get everyone on this call to make $10,000 and I could do it the lowest possible cost, I would do it. At lowest possible, because I know that if I get you to make money, if I can get you to see some success in working with me, that you're going to want to do more things with me. And that's the way I see business, okay? So I'm going to tell you about an opportunity of a lifetime that you're going to have working with me as my apprentice and as my partner. You're going to be both. You're going to be an apprentice because I'm going to teach you a lot about how to do a lot of things in this business. And you're going to be my partner, okay? The biggest reason why you want to be in this business and building a database of people and learning how to monetize that database is the lifestyle that you can achieve from doing that. It's called leverage, okay? I'm going to teach you how to leverage yourself better. It's not that I'm some super secret, you know, brainiac over here. I mean, I do not have a PhD in anything. I have a college education, I'll grant you that. But I'm not some brainiac over here with some amazing IQ. I just figured out a few things. The few things I figured out is that people want results, but they want results and they want their time back. I did a survey recently of people, and I asked them, what is the biggest thing they want to learn? The biggest issue that people said about wanting to learn something new is they didn't think they had time to learn something new. And that is across the board. People want to recapture their time. So one of the things I'm doing is I'm launching a brand called Part-Time 7 Figures. Now, Part-Time 7 Figures is going to be the umbrella brand, which is going to teach people and expose people to 7-figure businesses. Now, this doesn't mean the person just makes 7 figures, right? But 7 figures businesses that actually people work part-time, okay? If the 7-figure business requires 80 hours of your time, it's not going to be on this website, okay? It's to expose people to business models. You might want to write this down if you don't know this. The reason why businesses make money, it's because of their business model. You can write it down. You can underline it. You can get a yellow highlighter out and you can highlight it. People do not make money because they have knowledge. People do not make money because they have ideas. Businesses, people make money because they have a superior business model, and that business model trumps other business models, okay? So long story short is, what are the seven-figure blueprints, the seven-figure, part-time seven-figure businesses if you want to learn? And by the way, can you run some of these, can you have a real estate business and work full-time, not part-time? Of course you can. I'm not saying that every single business on here, you can run that business a part-time. There are decisions you have to make. It's lifestyle design. There's decisions you have to make to run a business without working 80 hours a week, okay? So this website is exposing the business models. So I'm actually showing the blueprints on how I run certain parts of my business. I'm going to show you just different people that are involved in this right now, okay? But it's going to be a fun ride exposing these seven-figure blueprints, seven-figure business blueprints to everyone. Once again, the structure for this and the event side is we're going to do a free event. Our plan is to do that in Los Angeles at the end of May. We're going to do a free event, and then we're going to invite people into 2 3-day events. One is a 3-day internet event, and one is a 3-day real estate event. I'm not going to go into all the details about what will be covered in those events, but basically, long story short is it's going to be focused on seven-figure blueprints and really getting people the knowledge on what it takes to launch a seven-figure business. What I see out there is a lot of people have pieces of the puzzle, but they don't really know a full business model on how to actually do this. And I think some of you can relate to that. Some of you have a little bit of knowledge about short sales or a little bit of knowledge about this or that, but you don't really have a full blueprint on what it really takes to do this. So we're going to be trying to expose as much as possible the full blueprint of what it takes to build $1 million business. Are you going to build $1 million business in 1 month? Probably not, okay? It's going to take a year or 2 or 3 or 4 of building. But if you don't know what you're building to, if you don't have the specifications, if you don't have the blueprints, it's real hard for you to build and even know where you're going. Even if you can't implement everything right away, you need to know the different pieces of the puzzle so that when the time comes, you can build them correctly. So long story short is, these are your expected revenues from the event. Okay, once again, nothing is foolproof. We never have something that we know for an absolute fact that, we're just going to make this much money. Sometimes we're pleasantly surprised. But you can reduce your risk substantially in this business. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how to do that in a second. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Hopefully this is familiar to you guys. Okay, now here's some of the opportunities that I can bring to the table that are pretty incredible. I actually have access right now to a list of 20 million business opportunity seekers who have bought infomercial products, who have attended seminars, who have been responsive to phone calls of people with business opportunities. And this list is very responsible. Many big seminar companies use this list. I can get access to it, and I can actually put people into events. It costs about $20 per registration. So for 500 people registering for an event, to get 500 people to register for an event, this is a free event in this case, okay? Get 500 people to register for a free event, it costs about $10,000, okay? Now, that's not a little bit of money, but that's not phenomenal amounts of money either, okay? So long story short is, I can field all kinds of events for $10,000. Now, that's not the total cost. Remember, I told you before the total cost is around $20,000, $25,000 for your free event. Long story short is, you can take money, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, and you can turn that into $50,000 to $100,000 to $200,000 with the skills that I possess. And those are the skills that you can learn as well. There's nothing here that's so so difficult that no one can learn. But it does take knowledge. It does take experience. Okay, I have a lot of connections with a lot of people who fill events, who generate leads online. I have a lot of connections to people who make tons and tons of money. I know most of their business models.